Hello everyone. This is now my second video, and I guess I was feeling as though that with the recent shooting that I just needed to do a video away from what I originally wanted, which I think this kind of plays a little bit of role, especially when we talk about mental health in general and just and dealing with different mental health issues. Last video I focused a little bit. I talked about anxiety and how I would go about discussing a little bit more about the different type of anxiety, but I feel like this topic it needs to spend a little bit more time, or I need to spend a little bit more time just talking about it. Of course, it's from my perspective. Once again, it's understandable that no one cares. Nobody's asking for my perspective, but yet I feel the need to share. And I feel the need to talk about what recently happened with a recent school shooting in Georgia, because I myself have children, and I do understand what it feels like to get them dressed in the morning and knowing that they're going to a school that might not be safe. So I wanted to just talk about, the recent school shooting in Georgia, which is a heartbreaking reminder that a 14-year-old should never have access to guns. I mean, as parents, we send our children to school expecting that they'll be safe to learn and to build skills that they need for their future. But this incident like this brings the fear right to our doorstep. It's terrifying, especially as parents of a 12 and a 15-year-old. Parents, it's more important than ever to talk to your kids, check in with them regularly, and address the issues they may be facing. Sometimes these conversations can be different between them feeling lost or finding a way to cope. Schools should also take an active role by having psychologists available for the very first few weeks, just to meet, not just the first few weeks. There should be a psychology there in general, or counselor, which I know most school has counselors, but having someone who is trained to deal with, or approach children in ways that they can open up and they can speak about what's going on with them. But yes, being able to provide support to them, building a bridge between home and school can give hope to young people who are still developing emotionally and physically. These children need adults to be their voice of reasons. Access to guns should never be an option. We have responsibility to keep them safe and guide them through these difficult times. Just a little bit about mental health. Mental health plays a critical role in the conversation about school shooting and overall safety. Many young people struggle with issues like anxiety, depression, isolation, which can lead to a tragic outcome if left unaddressed. It's essential that we prioritize our mental health in schools and at home. Schools need to have trained mental health professionals like psychologists or counselors who can actively engage with students, particularly at school, the start of the school year. These professionals can identify early signs of distress and provide support, creating a safety net for students who might otherwise slip through the cracks. Addressing these mental health early can prevent harmful behaviors, giving students the tools they need to cope with their emotions in a healthy way. At home, parents should regularly check in with their children and create an open environment where feelings can be discussed without judgment. Conversations about mental health should be normalized so that children feel comfortable seeking help when they need it. Mental health challenges are very real for today's youth, and we as adults need to be proactive in guiding them towards positive solutions. Ultimately, improving mental health resources is just as crucial as addressing access to guns. By focusing on the emotional and psychological well-being of young people, we help to reduce the chances of these tragedy incidents happening again. I also want to take the time to say, for the kids that lost their lives and for the teachers and staff that lost their lives, My condolences goes out to your family. And I know it's not a lot, it's not much. It's not going to bring your loved ones back. But we need to continue to have these conversations. We need to advocate. We need to normalize, mental health and the feelings that our young people are feeling. Access to guns, that's a topic in itself, should never be available for young kids. Talk to our children. There's so many opportunities. Yes, school is open, only so much that teachers and staff can do. But when you have those young ones and you see a difference, right? You'll see a difference in their behavior. Because even though they're not talking, as they said, action speaks louder than words. You'll see a difference in their behavior. Speak to them. They're looking for someone to be able to talk to them about what they may be feeling. We may not understand, but we can guide. We can support. We can provide healthier ways to cope. So it's just important for us to have those tough conversations. Parents, I know parents are busy. Sometimes you don't have two parents of a household. Sometimes it's only one person working very hard, trying to pay the bills and still being able to, protect the children. But spend the time asking questions, because this is such a vital time in their lives. And we say that we were kids also once, but not like this, right? Our child wasn't like this. I remember my childhood being more outside, playing around, being a kid. Now there's such a fear that kids aren't outside anymore. And then we have these screens in the, that's also taking up their time. So we need to pull them away, whatever they're doing. We need to pull them away. We need to talk to them. We need to have conversations. Even when they don't want to talk, have them sit and you talk. Make it a regular habit. Start somewhere. Do something, because this is just not okay for it to be taken out of the house and into the schools and hurting other people. Start today. It's never too late. Start today. Have those conversations. If your child needs help, get help. There's resources out there. It doesn't have to be expensive, right? There's resources out there. There's social groups out there. I can't tell you that everyone's going to be nice. Everyone's going to be kind. That's not the world that we're living in, unfortunately. But we have to start somewhere. We need to change. And we need to also be careful, because the things that we're saying, we have a bad day, we come home and we bring it all home. But we need to also find ways as parents to cope with how we see the world. Because as I said, children, they're young, emotionally and physically, they're still growing. So we need to find better ways to help them. Once again, this is just my perspective. I'm a psychologist. I don't usually work with children population. I work with adults over the age of 18. But as a mom, I am constantly feel the fear and touch by the craziness. And I think most of these incidents usually involves or surrounded gun and access to guns. Our young people have access to guns, which they should not have access to guns. But yes, I just wanted to post a little short video. I'm praying for the people who are affected by this recent shooting. And hopefully it will start to, help creating a change, because it's just a constant reminder that we can't forget. And this is not okay. I mean, none of it is okay, right? But we each can make a difference. Just need to talk to our young kids. We need to talk to our young ones. Okay. I hope everyone have a great day today. And I hope we can spend the time to start creating some ways of teaching, supporting our school system, because the school needs our support as well. There's a lot of kids, a lot of children, so it is hard. So there's no time for us to sit and blame, right? We need to start coming together. This happened in Georgia. I'm in New York, but each time, such a thing happened, you always think it's always so close to home, right? So spend the time speaking to your children. Have a good day, everyone.